In 2015, Rihanna didn't just arrive at the Met Gala, she dominated it, wrapped in one of the most unforgettable garments ever seen on a red carpet. A sweeping golden cape that instantly became a cultural moment. Hand embroidered, incredibly detailed, and so massive it took a team to carry it. It was unlike anything the Met Steps had ever seen. But what most people don't know is that this piece wasn't created for the Met at all. Its story began years earlier in a world the fashion industry wasn't watching. And almost overnight, everyone was asking the same question. Who is Guo Pei? Guo Pei was born in Beijing during the Cultural Revolution. At that time, people wore the same uniform, makeup was rarely used, and many traditional crafts were disappearing. Her grandmother was born in the late Qing dynasty. During the Cultural Revolution, she had to burn all of her beautiful clothes. At night, her grandmother would tell stories of exquisite garments, the intricate embroidery, the silk, and what people wore in the palace. Guo Pei would listen and imagine it all. By the age of 2, she could already thread a needle for her mother, and her grandmother later taught her embroidery. When universities reopened after the Cultural Revolution, she entered the Beijing Second Light Industry School and graduated at the top of her class in 1986. She began her career in ready-to-wear, designing thousands of garments a year. She was successful, but the work was for mass production. She wanted to be free to create the clothes she truly loved, pieces that required time and craftsmanship. In 1997, she walked away from ready-to-wear and founded Rose Studio, a place where she could finally create the work she imagined. But the embroidery she envisioned, almost no one could do it anymore. The Cultural Revolution had nearly erased those skills. So she went searching. She traveled to rural villages, knocking on doors, looking for women who still knew traditional embroidery. She brought them together, trained them, and rebuilt what had almost disappeared. Over time, she created an atelier of more than 300 embroiderers. Many of her designs are created with real gold thread, using techniques rooted in centuries of Chinese craftsmanship. She had the atelier, the craftsmanship, and the imagination. What she needed was a stage to showcase it. In 2006, Guo Pei presented her first couture runway show, Samsara, during China International Fashion Week. Closing the show was Dajin Magnificent Gold. It wasn't made for a client, it was made to show what was possible when time and craftsmanship had no limits. For the first time, it felt like her own show and the beginning of her couture path. Dajin took nearly 2 years and more than 50,000 hours to complete. Embroidered with gold thread and intricate lotus motifs, every surface is layered with detail. In 2009, Guo Pei presented her collection 1002 Nights at China Fashion Week. It was her third collection and her most ambitious up to that point. Inspired by the ancient tale 1001 Nights, the 16-piece collection explored themes of truth and lies, betrayal and trust, death and rebirth. Every piece pushed the limits of construction, craftsmanship, and imagination, revealing new marvels with every glance. Among the 16 pieces was one that never got the runway it deserved. It sat quietly, waiting for its moment. The model struggled, one step at a time, wearing the Yellow Queen, a gown that took 2 years to make and weighed 55 pounds. Guo Pei said her performance made her sad. She felt the show ruined the gown, and she'd never have the chance to make up for it. In 2015, Rihanna found the piece online while researching Chinese couture for the Met Gala theme, China Through the Looking Glass. She reached out to borrow it. At the time, Guo Pei didn't know who she was. When she wore the Yellow Queen on the red carpet, it became an icon. Guo Pei said she's grateful from the bottom of her heart, because without Rihanna, no one would remember this masterpiece. Almost overnight, Guo Pei became internationally recognized. In 2016, Time named her one of the world's 100 most influential people. That same year, she became the first Chinese designer invited to show at Paris Haute Couture Week. In her fantastical, unrestrained creations, Guo Pei brings Chinese tradition, history, and myth into couture that captivates the world. Her designs are more than fashion, they are sculpture, theater, wearable art. Each gown tells a story, inviting us into a world of imagination, craftsmanship, and artistic vision. Many of her pieces blend Eastern and Western influences using materials and techniques that expand what couture can be. For Guo Pei, couture is not only about beauty, it is a way of honoring culture, memory, and the stories that shape us. Her work reminds us that fashion can endure, carrying meaning long after the moment it was created. Guo Pei has preserved over 1,500 pieces of her work, not to sell, but to donate to museums around the world. She hopes the light they radiate will reach future generations.